built that rink with my own two hands. Let's see. Nate must have been about a year old. And we were flooding it for the first time. And we had a bunch of water out there. And Nate's running around out there. And he falls flat on his face. And the funny thing is that he froze right to the ice. I literally had to peel that boy right off the ice. But, you know, it's kind of a metaphor for Nate's life. Nate Sawerchuck, hockey player.
Well, I guess you could say that hockey was in the Sawerchuck genes. My grandfather, Chuck Sawerchuck, he was born in Flin Flon, and he played on the 1932 Senior Canadian Men's Championship team, the Manitoba Hairy Mammals. Well, that was before the stick swinging incident when he lost an eye. Then he moved the family to Wyoming. My father, Chuck Sawerchuck Jr., was only 4 when they moved, and so he never got the chance to play hockey when he was growing up. I always wanted to play too, but you know, that wasn't feasible in Wyoming in the 60s.
Well, most people don't know the true story. Me being a modest guy and all, you know, not trying to draw attention to myself. But my grandfather used to run a sporting goods store down in Casper. Well, he used to sell snowshoes and skis and all that good stuff. And, well, hockey never really caught on in Casper. So when he moved down here, he had a whole scat load full of hockey gear he took down in a trailer. Well, we handed it out to the kids. And, well, I was the first guy to lace up Nate's skates. I was kind of a teenage jock back then. I think the boy looked up to me.
Yeah, it really wasn't my idea to build the rink. Although most people around here do give me credit for it. Nate was the first kid to have a pair of skates, and that's probably why. You know how people always say, now which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, around here, they say, which came first, Nate or the rink? By the time he was 7, his shot was so hard he broke his brother's toe taking slap shots in the kitchen. And by the time he was 10, he was flipping the puck in the air. I knew we had something special. I knew then I had to help Nate harness his talent. He didn't know what he had. He was just playing for the fun of it. Yeah, right then and there, we made a commitment to go for it. Yeah, I know, Nate shed a lot of blood and sweat in the process, but I think it was all worth it.
Oh, I remember it well. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, we'd get the boys up at 6 a.m. and give them a protein shake and take them on down the rink, take on old Nate Sawerchuck. Well, he'd skate circles around those two. I mean, then he'd slap them upside the head with a stick a time or two. And, oh, that boy was a competitor.
We were 6.
I hate that asshole.
They lost interest after a couple of years. Started playing basketball. And I guess I wasn't much of a father.
Let's see, I moved to Casper right after high school. I got a degree in finance, and now I'm a loan officer here at the Wyoming Family Bank. I'm happy for him, I really am. But after the broken big toe incident,
I don't want to talk about that.
Nate, for the most part, was the most popular student at Elk River High. Very popular with the girls, although he didn't date. Straight A student, and I really don't know how he did it with the attention and all. Everybody just loves that boy. This is Nate's locker, 239. We've left it virtually untouched since the day Nate graduated. As you can see, he left us one of his sticks. This is kind of our own hockey hall of fame, if you will. Elk River's had its share of athletic success, but we haven't quite been able to put together a whole hockey team. Now, it seems the boys in town play hockey when they're young, but by the time they reach high school, with the exception of Nate, they all quit. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is.
We all think he's a wonderful, handsome young man.
Oh, he's a true asset to this community, and we're all pulling for him. I like to watch that boy skate, knock them kids around.
Nate and my daughter, well, I think they have a thing going.
He's the best, man. He's so good that he can skate around you.
The free meals at the cafe, the free beer at the bar, back rubs from all my teachers. Were great, but, you know, I just thought of myself as a regular kid who just liked to play hockey.
Unfortunately, there were a few bad eggs who could not get along with Nate.
Our football team had 14 guys, and we still managed to make it to the state championship. But all this town can talk about is how Nate scored a 50-foot backhand on some 12-year-old goalie.
Yeah. You know, there's always jealousy. It's hard, but, you know, trying to take it personally. This is just a hockey town.
Hockey town? This is fucking Wyoming.
I was in Colorado scouting this college game, and I was coming back the next day, and I was en route to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where I was supposed to see a junior game. And my 77 Buick broke down about 2 miles outside of Elk River. I had that car for about 20 years, never had a problem, but it was my signing bonus when I signed with the Boston Bruins. Anyway, I'm on foot, and I make my way into this little hole in the mountain town. And I'm walking along, and I see a saloon, like a blacksmith shop, and some sort of a trading post or something. It was like being on Bonanza, or, you know, in the 1800s at some time. And anyway, I actually felt lucky to find a gas station there, and that's where I met Dale. Anyway, he and I got to talking a little bit, and he found out that I was a scout, a big-time scout, and insisted that I spend the evening at his place while they worked on my car. And I thought, you know, that's great. I appreciate that. So, and I actually did have a good time. His wife was a great cook. She prepared this, like a chicken dish with chicken sauce, and it was really good. And then Nate and I went down and shot a few pucks at the local rink, and he's a really good kid. He really is. Came back, got a good night's sleep. My car was fixed the next morning, you know, just took off down the road, and that's why I sent the letter. It was my way of saying, thank you, you know, I appreciate your hospitality.
And then about 6 months later, 2 weeks after graduation, I got the letter in the mail. It says, "Congratulations, Nate Sawerchuck. The Bruins have made you their honorary 13th round selection in the 1997 National Hockey League draft." And then it goes on to say, good luck in life and keep hockey alive in Wyoming.
Well, Dale contacted me immediately, and I changed the following Saturday to Nate Sawerchuck Day. And then immediately after that, we changed Main Street to Nate Sawerchuck Avenue. Because, you know, Dale thought that it sounded better than street.
Well, I felt it was important for Nate to get used to being in the public eye, being an NHL star and all. So I set up these public appearances, some autograph signings. That's what you do for stars.
I was the first one in town to get his autograph after he got drafted.
How long ago was that?
About a year ago.
It's been about 14 months since I've been drafted. I guess that kind of brings you guys up to date. There comes a time in every hockey player's career where you want to give something back to the community. I wanted to teach these kids something that they might not have learned in our small part of the hockey world. I teach a Canadian style of the game. You want to go high, got it? High, high, high. Okay? You try. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. Putting the puck in the net is important, but you gotta be tough. If there's one thing my father taught me about this game, it's you gotta be tough.
Hello. Is Mick Rohde there? This is Dale Sawerchuck. Dale Sawerchuck? Nate Sawerchuck's father. Yes, I can hold. Okay. Bye. Well, apparently they're waiting for a slot to open up on one of their farm teams. They feel Nate's going to need that first step before he's ready to move on up to the Bruins. From an agent's point of view, that was a very important first phone call.
Sawerchuck scores. Oh, yeah. Oh, intermission. Hey, all right, let's go.
Well, Nate's had a lot of time on his hands in the past year, what with not being in school and all. I thought he should get a job while he waited for that professional hockey career to take off. But you know, Dale, he and I couldn't see eye to eye on that, so we finally had to agree on a part-time job.
Good morning, Johnny. Morning, Janine. I've always felt like a role model, so I wanted to do something with kids. Hey, save it for the rink, all right?
Fuck you, Nate.
All right, everyone, let's simmer down. Hey. All right, we are a lucky group today. Our favorite alumni has blessed us by returning to come and talk about his recent fame and the exciting happenings in his life. And hopefully that will lift our spirits a little and help us to forget about Todd Waters fumbling the ball in the final seconds of Saturday's game, making it 13 losses in a row. All right, let's hear it for Nate Sawerchuck.
Hey, I just came by to thank you guys, the fans, for always supporting me during my training. And, oh yeah, Bull Trout here, for always watching my back. So, go Bruins!
I don't know much about hockey, but I think he's cute. My mom even has a crush on him.
I think he's an idiot.
It's been 2.5 years since Nate's been drafted. Do you really think he's still gonna make it?
Oh, yeah. I hear he might go mid-season.
I haven't lost faith yet. I still got it. See? See?
I know what you film people are trying to do here.
Last time I talked to him, he tried to sound optimistic, but, I wasn't convinced. I told him maybe he should come on down to Casper for a while, take a break. But, he said he needed to train, stay focused.
I still practice 3 times a day. Gotta be ready when they call. I just gotta keep playing hockey. I'm a hockey player.
I've been with the organization for 17 years now. I was a 6th-round draft pick in 1983. I was called up to play 3 times, and I would have to say I think I earned a little respect when I put on the old black and gold. And now I am the laughingstock of the front office. Nate Sawerchuck is the worst hockey player I have ever seen. 13th round? There is no goddamn 13th round, okay? It was a gesture. It was a way of saying, thank you. And now I've got this kid's father calling me like every week for 2 years, wanting updates.
Well, hello, Mick. Uh-huh. This is Dale Sawerchuck. Huh. Well, thanks, Mick. I'll be talking to you again. I think we just made some progress there.
So anyway, my brother owed me a favor, and I had to do something because this guy was driving me nuts.
It's April, and I've just received word from my agent. I'm being sent on a minor league assignment. I'm on my way to the Flagstaff flagpoles of the Southwest United States Minor Professional Hockey League, or the SWUSMPHL for short. I'm being called to help bring home the Cactus Cup to Flagstaff. I gotta tell you, I'm ready. Hell, I'm more than ready. Nothing against the locals and all, but I feel like I'm losing my competitive edge. It's just the level of play here isn't what it used to be. I feel like I've exceeded the local talent level, and I just need more of a challenge if I'm gonna make it in the show. A good showing in Flagstaff, and I'll be in camp in the fall. The future is wide open now. I guess I really don't know when I'll be back. It's kind of hard to leave. Elk River is all I know. I love this town. Everyone here has raised me like I was their own son. But they raised me to be a hockey player. Now it's time to go play some hockey.
Who the fuck is Nate Sawerchuck?
Hell, what's this about not being able to play injured? I mean, if there's anybody that can play injured, it's Nate. I've seen him play. I'm his father.
Yeah! Bear down.
How's that for... That must be getting heavy. That camera, that big camera. You must be strong to carry such a big camera. Must have work out and stretch out.
All right, as soon as the traffic clears. Reese late, 69, take one.
Sound.
Steve. Hold on. Screaming kids.
Movie making, huh?
Wait. Mark it. Okay, tell me about Nate.
Oh, he's a true asset. Hot cut.
Keep rolling.
How long ago was that?
About a year ago.
Can I see those again?
Oh, intermission. Hey, all right, let's go.
Cut. Very funny, very good. One take one, and moving on.